Hi everyone, welcome to Blu-ray episode number 20, covering the films that I picked up from May through August of this year. So yes, we are back once again, and it's kind of late into, it's into August now as of recording this, so it's kind of late of doing this, but I wasn't actually going to originally do this one. I thought I'd maybe combine this with, the Christmas pickups and all this, but yeah, because there wasn't as much as I thought I'd get, and I thought, what's the point? But then, I thought, I said I'd be doing this, so let's stick to that. And yeah, let's show the films I picked up. Only 5 here, 5 Blu-rays to show. But August was my birthday month, so I picked up a few then. And the other one was just simply a pre-order. So I haven't really been picking up too much, over these last few months. But yes, worth showing anyway. So yes, the first film to mention is my favourite of all these, of course, and that is Licorice Pizza. And this film by Paul Thomas Anderson. Wow. I did mention this, of course, briefly on the kind of on the film log update, of May and June, and I did declare this, my favourite first watch, of June, and it's definitely one of my favourites, in recent years, and certainly a film that I look forward to discussing, in more detail. I'll get a kind of a review up eventually, when I get to these, Anderson films, but for now, so great to have this to the collection. Great kind of release here as well. You've got some art cards, of course, which I won't show, but just a really great kind of edition here, and it just of course comes out. And, yeah, just a great edition, and I had to pick this one up. Of course, I pre-ordered it, and just massive fan, obviously, of Paul Thomas Anderson. He's one of my favourite directors. So yes, so great to have this in the collection, and really, it lived up, and it exceeded my expectations. Of what I had. So yes, next up is the 4 films that I got for month of August around my birthday, and 2 of these, actually, I've seen all of them now. I saw them very soon into getting them, and by the end of August, actually, I think I'd seen them all. But yes, 2 of these I don't like, and we'll show them first. And this is the one that I did look forward to, but it's actually after seeing it, actually quite a few people are not big on this, actually including the filmmakers themselves who made this. Although that doesn't always obviously matter. Everyone's opinion is different, and it's just very interesting. But yes, the debut film of the Coens, Blood Simple. I gave this one a go, but I thought very soon into it, I wasn't really engaged, in this film, and I thought, we'll stick with it. It's probably going to get better, and it will really pick up, and the characters and stuff will get more development, perhaps. But that's one of the things. I wasn't big on the characters. The tone of this one was very strange. Just for my liking. Of course, I've seen many Coen Brothers films, and there's a couple, I'm not big on, of course, and I've mentioned that channel before, and this is obviously one of them. Just for me, I'm not, big on this film. It wasn't, an awful film. There is things to merit. It's definitely got some interesting visual moments, and I think some different characters, perhaps the ones that were just briefly shown here and there, in the bar and stuff, which I was really interested in, and I would have preferred to have perhaps followed their kind of stories, because what I was given was just for me, for my liking, a bit of a bland thriller, and one that did not make sense to me, and just what the characters were doing, and I didn't like the tone. I've already forgotten a lot of this film. It just wasn't for me though, and I did give it the chance that it deserves, of course, and I'll still obviously keep this film for the collection. It's great to see, of course, Frances McDormand's, first performance, really. So that is great, introducing her, and it was very interesting to see that, and I think there were some things to merit here and there, but overall, it was just not a film that I enjoyed. I didn't really, by the end of it, I was just, I was glad, it was over, really, with all respect, obviously, and just, as always, people have different opinions, and a certain film that you kind of look forward to didn't kind of do it for you, and perfectly fine, and of course love the Coens, but this is just one of the few that I'm not a fan of. But yeah, it was an interesting film to see. Next up, it's probably a film that I was more kind of dismayed by. It's certainly a longer film, and one that I didn't have high hopes for, but I think even then, it was more disappointing. And again, with all respect, I love this filmmaker. In fact, this is the first film that I, didn't like. This director, and it's a film that is divisive. It's a one that when it came out, it was very much a lot of people were saying it was boring and all this, and I finally saw this film in August, of course, and 4K. But yes. Tenants by Christopher Nolan, and I'm a massive fan of Christopher Nolan. Much respect for him. I love what his approach as well. To shooting on film and all this, and just a really seems like a very respectful man, and filmmaker, and I just love seeing what he does next, and he always creates most of the films I've seen from him. Absolutely stunning. Masterful. But this one. Very interesting film. It starts out, kind of an interesting scene. I liked the first kind of sequence, although there were some things I thought, perhaps that will, be explained, and that'll that won't happen throughout the rest of the film. Just a few things that kind of threw me off, and it's an interesting plot. But I think the execution here, it's too convoluted, and I think it's not. I couldn't follow it, in the sense of, kind of what was happening. It was just how it was happening, and I just think because one of the main things about this film, is the dialogue. It's so hard to understand. The sound mixing here, it's just I could not hear, at least half of the film really, in pivotal scenes, and people on boats, and the music as well, and the sound design, just really in the background, very very loud, and characters kind of shouting, exposition, and when going on the boats, and I just thought, well, first of all, when the scene started, I'm not going to hear any of this, and I didn't. It seems like this, but it's throughout the entire film. It's unfortunately, really bad experience with that. It's probably the worst. I just could not, hear a lot of the film. And I had to kind of put subtitles on at times, just to see, what was that, and rewind different moments. So it was really watching this film was like 3 hours, and I didn't enjoy the film. I didn't like the characters really. John David Washington, I did enjoy in the film, but I think everyone else actually, I wasn't. I wasn't kind of getting invested in these, characters, these portrayals, and I think the script was just too for me convoluted. It's not something that can be it's a film that basically, the plot could be like Inception. You could kind of it's kind of complex, it's layered, but if you really pay attention, you can kind of instantly get it in a way. The main arc and all this, and in rewatches you pick up on the remaining details, but this, I just did not really get behind any of the plot, and it was just it was a shame. Visually, there are some moments that are impressive, but the whole idea of this, and things going backwards and stuff, actually for me it was kind of laughable. I wasn't really, the fight scenes, they just came across as very bizarre. I can't remember the film, but I saw it years ago, and it was kind of it was similar to this, and how people were kind of moving about, and it was I can't remember the film, but it's just it's a shame, and I think really all the fight scenes when things are involved with time and stuff, all this, it was bizarre to me, and you did have some the main kind of one of the main action sequences was impressive, but overall this film really disappointed me. Obviously, have it for the collection, and just massive respect and love, for Christopher Nolan's films. But this is just for me the one that I didn't like. It's the only one so far I've not enjoyed at all. And I think again a good opening sequence. And of course, John David Washington. Is very good in this film, and I think. Yeah, it's just I didn't care for the villain, for example, as well. Kenneth Branagh. And I love Kenneth Branagh, but I think the villain really was not one I enjoyed at all or appreciated, and I just was interested by it. So there you go. And it was 2 hour 30, and I can watch 4 hour, 5 hour films, but when it's a film that you're just it's a real slog to you, and it's that long, in that sense, and you're because you can fill 10 minutes, you can fill 20, let alone 2 hour 30, and it was just a slog. And by the end of it, it did it actually kind of made me a bit sick because of the very rarely, I never really get this, but but yeah, I did feel a bit sick with the way it was just constantly all over the place, visually and stuff. And I think the sound design as well, did actually make me feel a bit, kind of just knocked in that sense. Not dizzy, but I think a little bit, kind of knocked, and I had to have kind of a hot chocolate and stuff, afterwards to recover. But yeah, Tenet, an interesting film, I guess, and check it out if you've not already. But a lot of people have seen this, and I wasn't a fan personally, but of course I love Christopher Nolan, and it's just my personal opinion. So yes, 2 left here, and this is a film by Edward Zwick, and yes, The Last Samurai. Here we go. Of course, the Blu-ray here, a film that I saw, many years ago, and I saw it a few times actually, and I'd always been wanting to kind of revisit this film. The first time round, when I saw it, I thought I loved it, and then shortly after that, watching it again, a few years ago, it was. I thought it was good, it was fine, and just kind of I was remembering things differently, and you just wasn't as invested in this film, and stuff, and you found it to be, kind of a bit underwhelming in places. But yes, seeing it again, I think, it's kind of a 4-star film for me, and as in, kind of 8 out of 10, more or less kind of film, and I think it's got some great moments, great, kind of moments of acting and action, of course. But I think this just is a bit underwhelming in places. I think the characters, so intrigued by them, but I think the character development, could have gone a lot further, and I could have really got behind this and be, have been truly moved in every kind of thread by the end of it, and I wasn't really. I think definitely a film that I really enjoy. I do appreciate, and of course Tom Cruise, Ken Watanabe, great in this film, and I did really love the kind of relationship they have in the film, the character interactions. But I think there's just a few things where it goes to battles and stuff, and then I think it should have. Just for my liking, it kind of doesn't recover from that, and it kind of. It seems like it then rushes through, certain bits after that, and then it goes back to fighting, and it's just a film, a very, strange film in the way it's structured, and the kind of middle portion of this film is by far the best. I kind of loved, parts of this, and overall it was a great experience in the sense of rewatching this film. But it's not for me a great film, and certainly doesn't live up to, I think. Edward Zwick's, kind of other films like Legends of the Fall. Personally, I know that's a very divisive film, but I do prefer that, and another film which we'll get to in the film log update video. So yes, certainly a film that I really enjoy, but I have some issues with the film, and it's kind of it's a film though that I have good memories of seeing, and great to have in the collection, of course. Massive Tom Cruise fan as well, obviously. So yes, the final film here is a Harold Lloyd film, and that is Safety Last. And for me, the best, film of all of these, kind of ones I got for my birthday. And this is a Criterion. It's a little bit, kind of crinkled now. Some of these Criterions, I've noticed, they kind of. They're just very. I think it's the way that they're kind of done. The dampness, basically, or the kind of moisture gets into them very easy. And my house is not, it's got problems with damp in certain rooms. Not, my bedroom, but just certainly downstairs and stuff. So leaving them out for perhaps a day, and it can happen. But it's great to have a Criterion, of course. Once again, this film. Very short, 73 minutes, of course, and I really like this film. Some things that I wasn't big on, and I think really until the final act, it was kind of good, or very good, and then the final act was great, and I loved this, of course, the famous sequence is in that kind of final act, and I did really I was just blown away by that sequence, and it's just thrilling, and some say it's kind of drawn out, that piece of cinema there, but I think that's the best part, and I did kind of get invested at first, mildly, but it really took a while for me to to get behind the character that Harold Lloyd plays, and just it was definitely not I definitely prefer, for example, Buster Keaton films, and Chaplin, of course, and Lauren Hardy, and all these people, but I think it's going to be very interesting to see other Harold Lloyd films, and this one here is his most famous, and certainly a very, very good film, and one that has a great final act, and it was just lovely to see once again a silent film, and involving someone I have not really ventured into before. This was my first Harold Lloyd film, and in that sense, it certainly got me very interested in seeing the rest of his films at some point, or most of them, and very good film. Not quite a great one for me. It's a very kind of love film. I don't think overall it's a great one, but it is because it definitely has some things early on that I wasn't big on at all. But the final act definitely delivers, and overall as an experience, it was great. Just seeing this film, and yes, great stuff in the collection. A nice addition here, and safety last. So yes, that's the last film to show, and what do you think of these films? Have you seen them? Do you own them? And what did you pick up in recent months? Kind of the last few months for your collection. What have you been watching? All this kind of stuff. And next up after this video will be instantly the film log update video for, let me think, July and August. Yes, and then I'll eventually film the September, October one as well. But yes, the month of Halloween, I've been watching a lot of horror films already, and more to come. Hopefully I'll be getting up some kind of video for the Halloween kind of time, closer to Halloween itself, and until then, enjoy watching horrors if you're doing that, and just cinema, of course, as always, and once again, I'm trying to kind of keep up with the schedule, and certainly it seems like more productive, and more enjoyable, and more consistent very recently. So yes, we'll kind of keep to that and improve on that perhaps as well. As I said before, every week, or perhaps here and there. It won't be every week, but trying to keep to every week and upload. And it's been going pretty well, it seems like, with that. So yes, that's it for now. Tell me your thoughts, and enjoy watching loads of films, of course. So yes, as always, take care, and thanks for watching.